Pure is not coming out. Here it is. My hand is broke, but I'm still going to find a way to play some video games because I'm a true gamer. That being said, hey, what's up, you guys? It's Ty. Welcome back to the Ty-Rant channel. Welcome to another WWE 2K17 live stream. As two people start to get into this call, tonight is the night of Great Balls of Fire. Probably one of the, what did I say? Probably one of the more hype pay-per-views that WWE has had in a while in terms of B or C shows, whatever you consider Great Balls of Fire to be. Probably one of the more hype shows they've had in a while since WrestleMania. There's definitely a lot of matches on that show I want to see. I want to see Big Cass versus Enzo. Want to see Braun versus Roman. Sadly, I want to see that match again. I don't know why. I want to see Sasha versus Alexa, and I definitely want to see Joe versus Lesnar. That's definitely the most hype match on the entire show. I do wish that they would have waited for some of these matches and held them off until SummerSlam. Like Alexa versus Sasha and Cass versus Enzo. Like, they didn't have to do it at Great Balls of Fire. They literally could have held off for Great Balls of Fire, but instead they wanted to just shoehorn them into the spot they are now, and it's like, all right, whatever. I guess we'll accept it, because you all know that most of SummerSlam is, if not most SummerSlam is just going to end up being rematches from previous pay-per-views. We're probably going to get Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles again. We're probably going to get freaking Cass and Enzo again, Alexa and Sasha again. Hopefully not Naomi and Lana again. That would be stupid. But anyways, let me check some of these comments, because I know you guys start commenting early. Ooh, we got a few comments rolling in already. What's up? Big Smoke's here. Drew Bonjo's here. Let's see, who else we got? Tyler's Toy Show Wrestling. That is not me, I swear. But what's up, Tyler? Other Tyler. Number 9's Chicken. Crap, you beat me. What? Who beat who? Yeah, I beat anyone? What? Guys, the Tyler Williams class didn't start yet. It didn't start yet. It doesn't start until the 28th. Might start earlier if we get more people joining in. You guys can actually check the description of this video, where I have all the people who are in the Tyler Williams Classic. If you have not already entered in, you can go and enter in. There's still a few people left. We got who's left? Let's see. We got Alejandro Leyva is left. Wait, no. He got taken. He got taken by somebody already. What am I doing? We have B2B left. Cal's left. Clint Kenosha's left. Dane is left. Jay Blaze, JC, Marco Tazzacali, Rick Razor, Son Orion, Stoner, TKO Harris, TJ Shadows, and VTEX. So that's about like a good 10 people left. You guys can go ahead and pick one of those guys as your own. That'd be something. But watch your video. Which one? I watched one of your videos already, Big Smoke. You didn't really clearly tell me where you're from. Like, your accent is so unique. You have like this, you roll your R's a lot. It's so cool. Anyway, Great Balls of Fire tonight. Very excited for that pay-per-view. Who do I think will win? We're gonna play some of the Great Balls of Fire matches that are gonna be here tonight. They're gonna be coming on tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be out. I actually don't have work today because I got hurt at work. Now I'm home for the next 3 days. You said you're from Europe? Okay, that makes sense. You're part of Europe. Home for the next 2 to 3 days. Freaking resting up my left hand that I didn't break, but like, you know, whatever. What else was I about to say? What's your job? I work at Costco. I don't know if there's a Costco in Europe, but it's basically a wholesale food place. It's a really, really big store that sells a lot of things. Before I started working at Costco, I was working at a movie theater. If any of you subscribed from my channel like a while ago, you would know that I worked at a movie theater. I worked at Regal Entertainment, if you want to be exact. I know a lot of you. Tesco. I heard of Tesco. Hi, I'm South Korean. Awesome, you're South Korean. That's dope. Are you from South Korea or are you just South Korean? Because you can be from South Korea. You can't be South Korean and not be from South Korea at all. And I mean, I guess that would be if your parents were both South Korean and they lived in America or someplace else. You're South Korean. South Korean American. But I guess you would have said that. Let me do the match real quick. While you guys are waiting. We're gonna do... No. We're gonna do... Play some GTA... I don't have GTA San Andreas. I wish I did. Probably should buy it one day. Oh, speaking of that, I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. The new wrestling game is dropping. Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. No, Fire Pro Wrestling World. I know a lot of people are big fans of the Fire Pro Wrestling series. I'm going to be buying it tomorrow. I'm live streaming the gameplay where I'm going to have subscribers in the gameplay, you know? So that's going to be dope. You guys want to be part of that. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's live stream. Probably going to be live streaming around 12 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be live streaming for a while. So make sure you guys tune into that. I definitely want to create Big Smoke in the game. Have Big Smoke be the world champion. No, not about world champion, but Big Smoke probably going to be in the game. Foxtrot, that's probably going to be in the game. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. You don't like top-down games. Interesting. But, yeah, that's going to be an interesting game. Let's get into one of these matches. What match is going to be at Great Balls of Fire? I only know, like, 4 matches at Great Balls of Fire. I don't know the entire match card because I really don't care. I give a shit about the rest of the match card. Let's see what the whole entire match card is. If you ever want to know what the match card is, check Wikipedia during their event. You'll see some very funny shit there. Let's see. We got Akira Tozawa versus Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. Poor Austin Aries getting released. It's just a sucky situation all around. Can't believe they had a guy like him and they just lost him because they treated him poorly. But whatever. We don't have Akira Tozawa created, so I'm not going to play a Neville versus Akira Tozawa match. We have Brock Lesnar versus Samoa. Why am I going out of order? We got Cesaro versus Sheamus in a 30-minute Iron Man. A 30-minute Iron Man match. A 30-minute Iron Man match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This? Why? Why? I don't understand. What do we need 30-minute Iron Man match for? I mean, I love me some Hardy Boys. I like Cesaro. I mean, Sheamus is alright, but they've been facing off since WrestleMania. It's now July. Is this feud going to end soon? I mean, like they've been feuding for like 3 months now. And I'm not saying that that's a bad feud, but a 30-minute, why? We just had like a 2 out of 3 falls match. We had a steel cage match. I think we had like a no disqualification match. What more can they do with this? Like, just move on. Move on from this feud. I can say the same for Roman versus Strowman. Like, the feud is intriguing, but after this match, they have to move on. They can't keep carrying this feud out. The feud's been going on since January. And I gave it a pass because Strowman was injured at the time. So we didn't get this. They only faced off in like 2 or 3 pay-per-view matches. But after this, unless they're facing off at SummerSlam for the Universal Championship, this feud has to end now. Like, soon. After the night, I should not be seeing Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman anymore. Just saying. And no, I'm mad. I guess I'll do Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. That's the thing I don't like about WWE and most wrestling companies in general. Like, you have a feud and it's going well, okay? But you don't have to book. You don't have to book all your feuds to be long term. What I mean by that is, every single feud that you do does not have to be dragged out for 5 pay-per-views at a time. We do not need to see Wrestler A versus Wrestler B for 3 to 4 pay-per-views at a time. It's ridiculous and repetitive. Like, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, their matches have been okay at best. Sometimes, I wouldn't say okay at best. It's been decent at best. First match, yes, Jinder Mahal won. I was happy for Jinder Mahal. Second match, Randy Orton deserves a rematch. I'm perfectly okay with it. Did I want to see it again? No. Because the first match wasn't even that good. But I'm like, alright. I'll stomach through the second match as long as we move on. Why are they facing off again? Jinder Mahal just beat Randy Orton. Literally, why? That's another thing I don't get. If there is a rematch clause, if you lose a wrestling match, okay, listen to me. All right, get this. Let's say you're the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and I am the #1 contender. I challenge you, you accept it. That is our first match. We're facing off at Great Balls of Fire. This dumbest name for a pay-per-view ever. We're facing off at Great Balls of Fire for the World Championship, right? You beat me. It doesn't matter if it's clean, or dirty, or count out, disqualified. It doesn't matter. You beat me. Okay? Why should I get another match against you? You beat me fair and square. Unless you accept another challenge, why are you facing me again? Now, I'm not saying that everyone who faces off against each other and they retain their title should not go back to facing off again. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why are you facing me again after I beat you? Unless you challenge me and I accept it again, you shouldn't be facing off against me again. There should not be this compelling story that you get to face off against me again because you're freaking a big name. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But the thing I don't get is when the title changes hands, the title changes hands, and there's a rematch clause, and the person loses, and then they get another rematch. Like, you just lost a rematch clause. What do you need a second rematch for? You lost. Move on. You're not the #1 contender anymore. I don't get this notion that just because you're a big name, or just because we need this feud to keep going because we can't think of another person to face off, means that we have to have this same feud going on for 5, 6, 3, 4 months. For me, the most a feud should go on for if we're talking long term, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible to book a long-term feud, because they've done it before. They have successfully booked long-term feuds before that have kept me peeled to my television. For instance, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels 2008. That feud stretched out for like, what, all of 2008? Most of 2008? That feud stretched out at least 5 or 6, 7 months. And I was peeled to the television the entire time. Albeit I wasn't in on this whole kayfabe and knowing the inside of wrestling thing. But I was peeled to my television the entire time. And now, we have feuds. Yeah, good example, Big Spoke. Edge versus Undertaker. That feud was basically entire year of 2008. 2008, 2007. That was basically an entire year-long feud. That feud, I was intrigued with that feud. I was so focused in on that feud. That was almost probably the only reason I tuned into SmackDown. And it's now 10 years later, 2017, and they fail. They fail to make long-term feuds actually feel like you want to keep watching. Like I just said, I like Braun Strowman. I don't like Roman Reigns, but I like this feud. But enough is enough. It's coming to a point where this feud has to end. They've been feuding since January. It is now July. It is more than over half a year. If Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman are still facing off in August, why? That doesn't make any sense. Unless Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman wins the championship, there should be no reason that they should be facing off next month. And that's my honest opinion. Just my honest opinion on that. But we're, I don't know why it's not letting me select another person. That's weird. Let me try selecting someone else. No, it's not letting me select another person. Yeah, that was my little rant there that went on. Well, I might take a clip of this and make a whole my argument on long-term booking in wrestling, or WWE in general, because WWE just has a knack for long-term booking. And another feud that, by God, they dragged this feud, or they milked this feud so hard that the cow died from malnutrition. The cow had no more milk left to give. And of course, I will be talking about Charlotte versus Sasha Banks from last year. I don't know when that feud started exactly. I can't honestly tell you. I know that they were feuding in NXT. I had no problem with them feuding in NXT because they put on great matches every time they faced off. Come to the main roster. Hey, they're feuding in like a 3-on-3-on-3, whatever. I don't really care that much about it. But hey, they're feuding again, alright? They don't really feud again after that, but they have a few matches here and there. Whatever. They start feuding again in mid-2016. And I'm like, okay, this is nice. I like what they're doing with Sasha and Charlotte. You know, Sasha Banks is chasing down Charlotte for the women's championship. I like it. I can get behind this. I can honestly get behind this because I want to see someone beat Charlotte for the women's championship because Charlotte seems to win it back all the goddamn time. You know what? I think I have the episode. What was it? It was the first Raw of the brand split, which was probably one of the greatest matches they had the entire year with Sasha versus Charlotte on that show. Which, in my opinion, I honestly think if you guys have not seen it, the first Raw of the brand split was honestly one of the greatest Raws in the last 10 years, in my opinion. No. That's a far stretch. One of the greatest Raw in the last 5 years was that episode of Raw before the brand split. One of my favorite episodes was that Raw. Sasha beats Charlotte. Alright. Nice. She beat her. It's July. It's whatever. They're going to rematch. I'm sure it's going to be fine. I'm perfectly okay with it because I like both women. They have a rematch. I don't know if it's on Raw. I don't know if it's on pay-per-view. But they have a rematch. And Charlotte beats her. I'm like, wow. Okay. I thought Sasha should have held a little bit longer. But, alright. Charlotte beat her. That means they're going to face off at SummerSlam. Nice. Fine and dandy. They face off at SummerSlam. And Charlotte beats her. And it's like, okay, I guess. I mean, I don't understand why. I don't honestly understand why they're still facing off. I mean, no, I understand why they're still facing off. But they're trading the title back and forth. Like, okay, I guess. Whatever. Then Sasha beats her. And it's like, what? Why is she beat? Didn't they just trade the titles back once already? It's like, okay, whatever. I'm still into this feud. Then Charlotte beats her at the pay-per-view. It's like, what is going on here? Why is this back and forth beating? Why is the title being changed so often? I don't get it. And then on Raw, guess who wins the title back? Sasha. And it's like, so Sasha's now a 3-time WWE Women's Champion in the span of like 2 months after winning it back from the same exact person. And you know, Charlotte's undefeated pay-per-view, so you already know Charlotte about to win that shit back. Which she does. At Hell in a Cell, which was a great match, but nonetheless, she won it back, and it's like, are you kidding me? This feud, because here's the thing, WWE stays true to the rematch clause. And if Charlotte wins it back, no matter how many times the title is traded back and forth, if Charlotte wins it back, Sasha's got to get a rematch. And I'm like, oh my god, Sasha's going to face her and run it back. And what do you know? Sasha, I don't think Sasha won it back. I think Sasha's just a 3-time champion. So Sasha didn't win it back. But then it's like, okay, now they're going to face off at Roadblock. Right? They're going to face off at Roadblock. And mind you guys, Roadblock is December of 2016. So this feud started in July and went on August, September, October, November. 9 months this feud went on for the championship. And the championship traded hands 6 times. 6 times. Why? They had great matches, but at the point, here's the thing. At the point where they faced off Roadblock, I didn't even want to watch the match. I still have not seen that match. Because I was so fed up with the fact that they kept on rematching it that I was tired of seeing both of them. They made me legitimately tired of seeing both women. And I was a big Sasha Banks fan. I was a huge Sasha Banks fan. But at that point in time, I was so tired of seeing Sasha Banks on TV because she faced off against Charlotte that I just did not watch that match altogether. It took me until January to watch those 2 women again. WWE found a way to make me not want to watch those 2 women wrestle. And they're damn great wrestlers. But they beat it out of me. And it's like, that's ridiculous. And I just hope that they don't give Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman that same treatment. They don't have a title, but I feel like that's what it's heading towards. They're going to have them facing off over and over and over and over again. We're already seeing signs of it because they started feuding. They started feuding in January, and it's now July. That is 7 months. 6 months. That is 6 months that they've been feuding. This has to end. That has to be the end of the feud. I still didn't get my predictions for it. I just wanted to go on a little bit of a rant. Oh my god. Here is another feud I was just talking about. Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Why are these guys still feuding? Why? I don't understand. Miz and Dean Ambrose, weren't they feuding on SmackDown before they started feuding on Raw again? I'm pretty sure before they started feuding on Raw, they were already feuding on SmackDown for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, when they started feuding, I will be honest, I didn't give a shit about the feud. I like The Miz, but I couldn't give 2 shits about the feud because I like Dean Ambrose, I like the character, but the wrestler Dean Ambrose, it just does not do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for me. Dean Ambrose, he comes out, he cuts pretty much the same promos. Oh, I'm crazy, I'm gonna beat your ass. He cuts the same promos over and over again. We get it. He's crazy, okay? And he does the same moves. His match. Can any of you name a 5-star or a 4.5-star Dean Ambrose match? Because I sure the hell can. And this isn't some rant on Dean Ambrose. I'm not saying Dean Ambrose is a bad wrestler or a bad like in a sense, I do like Dean Ambrose. I'm just saying, like, I just don't like him that much. Like, if he's wrestling, I'm not going to drop everything I have just to see Dean Ambrose. If anything, I probably might skip a Dean Ambrose match. But he starts feuding with The Miz, and it's like, okay, whatever. They're trying to get The Miz to beat Chris Jericho's record. Whatever it takes, I don't care. They get drafted to... really frowsy. They get drafted to SmackDown, and they're still feuding. Why are they still feuding? I don't get... You know, his match with AJ Styles at TLC, that was a great match. That was a good match, but I don't think it was 5 stars. You know what? It was a 4.5 star. I'll give you that. 4.5 stars was AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. And that's because he was in the ring with AJ Styles. And AJ Styles can carry just about anyone to a great match. But I'm not going to take anything away from Dean because Dean was also in the match. They played off each other. So I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take it away from Dean entirely and say it was all AJ. But great match they two had. Other than that, I can't think of any other great Dean Ambrose match. Not including the Shield. Not including Roman and Seth on a tag team match. I can't think of another single Dean Ambrose match that actually caught my attention. So whenever he's in a ring, I really don't care. And now he's facing The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship again for like the 7th time. And it's like, guys, they've been feuding. I'm pretty certain they've been feuding since the beginning of the year. It is now July. Move on. Move on. I'm sure Miz can find some of the babyface on the roster that he can feud with. I'm tired of this goddamn bear appearing on Raw and the LaMelo and LeVar Ball segment beat that nigga's ass. I don't want to see any niggas getting his ass beat on Raw. And yes, I said the N-word. Because I know a lot of you are probably waiting for me to say it. So there's your little thing. Don't expect me to say it again. And I'm black. I'm allowed to say it, guys. But It's just, I had enough of that feud. They had to move on. I don't know who The Miz can face, but move on. Have The Miz face freaking Neville or something. I don't care. Enzo versus Cass. I'm not doing any predictions for these matches yet. I'm just gonna hold off because we're still pretty early in the stream, so I'm just gonna hold off with some of these predictions. We have Enzo and Cass. Honestly, I think that this has been probably the second best feud going into Great Balls of Fire, and he just started building it. I mean, the whole who attacked Enzo and Cass thing, it didn't catch my attention at all because right off the bat I knew it was Big Cass. But the promos that these two been having have been really good and intriguing. Like, it caught my attention when the breakup happened. Cass cut a pretty good promo, booted Enzo, turned heel, you know, yada yada yada. Next week, Enzo comes out, and Enzo looks like a freaking idiot coming out here talking about, oh, I still like you, Cass. I understand you made a mistake. It's okay. We're still boys. We're still brothers. I would have whipped out there and whipped I would have went out there, went to go find Cass and whooped his ass. But Enzo was like, yeah, we're still brothers. We still boys. Come out here. Let's hug it out. All that kind of stuff. But it's not that he looked like an idiot. It looked like he looked like an idiot who actually believed it. Like, he legitimately looked like Big Cass was his brother. They went through a lot of hard times. Like, the acting there was really good. The acting that Dean Ambrose, yeah, right. The acting that Enzo put on was surprisingly really good. I did not expect Enzo to be that good of an actor. So, that honestly had me intrigued in this match, was that one Enzo. I'm not saying that the segment before didn't have me intrigued, but what pulled me in was the Enzo and Cass segment, honestly. And then the one that Enzo cut on Raw last week was just, damn. Enzo really can talk. If you actually stop having to move around and bop around like a freaking idiot all the time, he actually can talk. So, that actually got me intrigued. I actually want to see Enzo beat Cass, which probably won't happen, but I want to see Enzo beat Cass. Beat Cass's ass, huh? Beat that casshole, ha ha ha. I'm just kidding. What we got in the comment section? Miz versus Jeff Hardy. I would love to see Miz versus Jeff Hardy. Cass has potential. Yes, he does. I only think that Enzo has a chance. I don't think Enzo has a big chance that Cass has. Get it? Ironic, has a big chance that Cass has. Because Enzo's small, because Enzo tech is 206, not 205, and it won't go into the Cruiserweight division, I don't see them really doing anything with Enzo past this feud. Hopefully they do, but I don't know. Foxtrot says he's bored of the Hardys versus... I was just talking about that earlier, about the whole rematch thing. You could go back a few minutes if you want to listen to my rant on that. But yeah, dude, they got to move on from this feud after this. I honestly do not want to see this 30-minute Iron Man match. Cesaro's a great wrestler. He can have a 30-minute Iron Man match with anybody, and I'll be intrigued to watch it. But the fact that he's been having already all these stipulations with the Hardys, it's like, come on now. I don't want to see this match. Might even skip it. If they know what's good for them, they'll put this match on a pre-show. So that way we don't have to sit through this whole entire match during the main show. That's what they should do. Put this match on a pre-show. I know it's pretty disrespectful to the men in the ring, saying put them on a pre-show, but I don't want to sit through this match, honestly. I don't want to sit through 30 minutes of this match. So put them on a pre-show. Put Neville and Akira Tozawa on the main show. Because the Cruiserweights need to be treated like an act. And I want to talk about the Cruiserweights a little bit later. But, so yeah, Enzo and Cass, I'm intrigued about that. Seth versus Bray, I could not give a shit and a half about this match. So I'm going to move on about this. I'm going to move on this match. Alexa versus Sasha Banks. Alexa versus Sasha Banks. They should have held off until SummerSlam. That's all I'm going to say about that, really. They should have held off. Alexa, she's a good wrestler. Sasha, great wrestler. They should have held off, honestly. I don't see why they wanted to blow their load at Great Balls of Fire. I mean, I get they're trying to build an elite card, and I'm not saying it's not an elite card. It's a really good-looking card, aside from 2 matches. But you could have waited. Like, you need SummerSlam to have really good matches, really great first-time ever matches, big, elite, monumental matches. and are not going to be less monumental if they're rematches from the last pay-per-view. You know what I mean? If we're having Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe on this show, and we're having Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe at SummerSlam, it's going to have less meaning because they already faced off. You already blew the whole first time ever potential on a B show when you could have used it on an A show. And you can't tell me that SummerSlam isn't an A show because they basically consider it the second biggest show of the year. Which, by the way, I am going to SummerSlam. So, you guys, if you're going to SummerSlam, you'll see me there. But, yeah, I just wish they would have waited on this match. Once again, not doing predictions for the matches yet. I'm going to do that a little bit later on. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. I already talked about this. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. This has been probably the best built feud Raw has had in a long, long time. I honestly cannot wait for this match. And yeah, I can't wait for it. And then Neville versus Akira Tozawa. Throwaway match. Hopefully they get put on the main show. Let me talk about the Cruiserweights real quick. So, Cruiserweight Classic, which is being spoofed onto the Tyler Williams Classic, which you can find on this channel. The Cruiserweight Classic, in my opinion, is the greatest tournament WWE has ever had. It is my all-time favorite wrestling tournament. And it is just amazing. If you have not seen it, I advise you to go on WWE Network, go on whatever wrestling site you can, and watch back the Cruiserweight Classic, because that was a damn great tournament. Even if you know who the winner is, just go back and watch it. I might even go back and watch it myself, and I already know who wins it. And that's very rare. That is very rare. If I go back and watch a match, I already know who the winner is. But I might even go back and watch it. Great tournament. Then we hear, oh, they're getting a Cruiserweight Championship. So now, we might even see Cruiserweights being used on Raw and SmackDown. And I'm like, yes, this is great. I want to see the Cruiserweights. This is awesome. Now, we're not going to see every single Cruiserweight in a Cruiserweight division on Raw and SmackDown, which I expected, because about a good chunk of the Cruiserweight division that you saw in the Cruiserweight Classic is not there. Zack Sabre Jr.'s not there, Kota Ibushi's not there, Gran Metalik, even though he's on the roster, he's not there. I don't know why they don't use Gran Metalik that much. They were building him up in the beginning, and he's had like 1 or 2 matches, but I haven't seen him since then. Who else was in it? Just a lot of the Cruiserweight guys are just not there. And if they are there, they're not being used how they should be, because they act like there's only 5 Cruiserweights on the entire show. Sorry if I cough a lot, my throat is killing me. But anyway, as I was saying, I was very hyped about it. 205 Live comes on, and I'm like, well, I mean, they start getting used on Raw, and it's like, okay, that's great, that's cool. They had okay matches on Raw, and it's like, they're not being used to their fullest potential here. Like, I feel like they should be having longer matches. In the very beginning, in the very, very, very beginning, they were having good matches on Raw. Then, as the weeks progressed, they started having slower and just not really intriguing matches. And it's like 5-minute matches, 2-minute matches, 3-minute matches. And it's like, come on now. You have these really talented wrestlers here, and you're putting them in 5-minute matches. They're treating the Cruiserweights how they used to treat the women. And it's ridiculous. Then they start this 205 Live idea. And I instantly think, a 3rd hour of SmackDown. Just what I want. So, I'm like, alright, I'm going to give 205 Live a chance, because I like the Cruiserweights, and I want to see them succeed. They're getting their own show. This is what everyone from the Cruiserweight Classic wanted. So I'm going to give it a chance. I watched the first episode of 205 Live. It was good. I could not find it in my heart to watch another episode of 205 Live, because it was good, but not that good. Not only that, but only half of the crowd, not even half, like 75% of the crowd was gone. There was only like a handful of people in that crowd. And when you have a handful of people in a crowd, and a crowd's not hot, it makes it hard to sit through wrestling matches. Because, believe it or not, a wrestling crowd can very much impact a match. You could be having the best match of your career, but if the crowd isn't reacting to it, it won't feel like a good match, because the crowd isn't live. They're not hyped. They're not cheering. They're not booing. If they're not saying anything and the match is damn good, then it doesn't give the appearance that it's a damn good match. It gives the appearance that the match isn't really that interesting. Therefore, I'm not interested. if you see what I mean. So there, it's already a disadvantage 205 Live has. But on top of that, you have an hour, and they barely give the Cruiserweights that much time. It's supposed to feel like NXT, but it doesn't feel like NXT at all. They give the Cruiserweights probably 10 minutes at the most, maybe 15 on a good night. I'm not saying every episode 205 Live is bad. I wouldn't know because I don't watch 205 Live. I watched one episode. I tried to watch another one and I couldn't even sit through it. Because they desensitized me into thinking that the Cruiserweights don't matter. That's what WWE has done. They made me feel like I should not care about the Cruiserweights. Because they don't make them feel important enough on the show. They don't make the Cruiserweight Championship feel like an important title. And Neville's a damn great wrestler. But they do not make that title feel important enough. Why? Because they don't have that title being defended on like the main event of Raw. They don't have that title being defended as often as it should be. When the title's defended, most of the time the matches are really good. But because it doesn't feel important, many people really tune in to watch it. Like Jack Gallagher versus Neville was probably one of the best matches in this year. Can't really say the same for Neville versus Austin Aries. I really didn't watch their matches at all. I didn't see any of the Austin Aries versus Neville matches. Once again, going back to the fact that they made me not want to watch the Cruiserweights. They didn't make me not want to watch it. They made me feel like they weren't important enough to watch it. And for that reason, I don't even call them the Cruiserweight division anymore. I call them Cruiserweight Purgatory. Because that's what it is. If you are 205 or under 205, you're going to be put in a division where, honestly, they don't give a shit about you. You're going to put you in a division where you get 5 to 10 minutes on TV in probably on the third hour of Raw, where everyone's tired and bored out of their goddamn minds, or they're going to put you on the show 205 Live, where no one watches the show. So no one has exposure to you. No one knows who you are unless they watched you in a Cruiserweight Classic. And if you win the Cruiserweight Championship, you don't dream of holding on for too long because the title gets traded around like the Women's Championship did between Sasha and Charlotte. Now, thankfully, Neville's been holding on to that title since the Royal Rumble. So, that hasn't been getting traded around. He's been holding on to that title for a good 7 months. So, kudos to them for actually putting the title on him and believing in him. But they just don't make 205 Live feel important enough for me to give a shit about the Cruiserweights. So for that reason, I don't care about the Cruiserweights. Until WWE gives me a reason to care, why should I watch 205 Live? Why should I watch Neville versus Akira Tozawa? It's already certain that the Cruiserweights, they don't seem like they're moving up. You would think by now that 8 months in, we would have at least one Cruiserweight versus a normal-sized wrestler. But we haven't had that yet. We haven't had a Neville versus Roman Reigns match, or Cedric Alexander versus Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy. We haven't had any of those matches because they feel like the Cruiserweight division should only face Cruiserweight wrestlers, which shouldn't be the case. I'm not saying that you have to have the Cruiserweight division, the Cruiserweight to face off against a new wrestler every single week. But on big episodes, special episodes, you should have like a Neville versus a freaking Miz or something. Like, why is Neville facing the same guys over and over again? Because you only give him a few guys to work with. Give him more people to work with. Give him the rest of the roster. And maybe if you have people like Neville, people like Jack Gallagher facing off against guys who feel important, maybe then the Cruiserweights will start to feel important. I think you could fix the Cruiserweight division by having them face off against main roster guys. You know, you have to have them face off against main eventers. You can have them face off against mid-carders. Or even put them on SmackDown Live every once in a while. To face off against, I don't know, freaking... I can't think of anyone right now, but just have them face off against someone every once in a while. And maybe you will actually, you know, feel intrigued. Feel like the Cruiserweights matter. Because right now, they don't feel like they matter, so I don't care about the Cruiserweights. I don't care about Neville versus Akira Tozawa. I want to, but I just can't find it myself to care. And that's sad. It really is. Can you put him at... I'm so sorry, guys. I started ranting. I completely forgot about this. I am so sorry. A lot of you are probably like, hey, what the fuck is going on? You're not streaming anything. I am so sorry, guys. Let me put on, what's going on? Why can't I... Why is it doing this? Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Every time I go to select, like, another wrestler, it doesn't let me select another person. Let's go to Tekken 7. Right back to WWE 2K17. There we go. Should be fixed. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the Cruiserweight division? Let me hear your opinions. I'm about to rename this video, like, a rant video, because it kind of is a rant video, in a sense. It could be a start of something new. Weekly rants with Tyler Williams or something. I don't know. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. I do not want to see that. Not in real life. Not on this game. I do not want to see that match. Only because knowing WWE and knowing how they book Brock Lesnar, they would probably have AJ Styles look like the biggest jabron in the world against Brock Lesnar. And that's not how you want to treat AJ Styles. They've been treating AJ Styles really well since he debuted. Doing that match would ruin all of that. It would have ruined all of it. Like, AJ Styles would be a soiled character, but like, having him get squashed to Brock Lesnar just isn't a good idea. Because that's what it's going to be. They're not going to have AJ Styles be in a competitive match against Brock Lesnar. I highly doubt they're barely going to have Samoa Joe being a competitive match against Brock Lesnar tonight. I hope so, but I'm not holding my breath on it. So hopefully they actually do make it. That the Cruiserweight division feels like a dog pound. It is a dog pound. Essentially, it is a dog pound. You go there, the Cruiserweight division feels like a goddamn punishment more than anything. And you want to know something, a real fun fact? Let me make sure I do a little research before I blurt this out and I'm wrong and someone calls me out in the comment section. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, you want to know something. You want to know who's a Cruiserweight but isn't on 205 Live? Finn Balor. Finn Balor is a Cruiserweight. Finn Balor weighs less than 205 pounds. Why is he not in a Cruiserweight division? Because they don't want Finn Balor to feel like less than what he is. They don't want to desensitize. I hope I said that right. Desensitize Finn Balor. Because Finn Balor is a big name on their brand. If they put Finn Balor in a Cruiserweight division, he's going to mean a lot less. And that should say something. If Finn Balor's a Cruiserweight and they refuse to put him on 205 Live, that should say something. Why do you think every single week when Finn Balor comes out, they don't tell you his weight? Because he's 190 pounds. He should be on 205 Live, but he's not. There's a lot of other wrestlers who probably on that roster who are 205 pounds, but are not on a Cruiserweight division. Why? Because they don't want them to feel less important. So if that's the case, why don't you just make the Cruiserweights face off against people who are regular weight? What's the worst that can happen? They have a great match? I don't get it. I don't get them sometimes. I really don't get WWE sometimes. And people wonder why I don't watch the products. I don't really watch WWE. Almost at all. I don't watch Raw. I don't watch SmackDown. I barely watch NXT. I try to. I love NXT to death, but WWE has done such a good job of making me not like the product so much that I just don't watch NXT. I don't watch 205 Live. I don't watch the UK, whatever the hell they have going in the UK. However, the Mae Young Classic I will watch because it's very much reminiscent of the Cruiserweight Classic, which I very much love. So I will be watching Mae Young Classic. But any other thing, I have to force myself to watch because I know what WWE is capable of. Bullshit. Imagine if Big Smoke would be the GM of SmackDown. I don't know if you'd be a GM of SmackDown, Big Smoke. What plans do you have? What plans do you have for SmackDown Live? Raw and SmackDown going on against each other here. Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. I would love to see that match at the Royal Rumble. Let's get AJ Styles versus Finn Balor at the Royal Rumble 2018. Do it! They should do it, because I'm going to the Royal Rumble next year. I am going to the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia because I'm from Philadelphia. So, I'm going there. If they announce Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, I will be the first person to buy their ticket. As they say it. As soon as they say Finn Balor versus AJ, I will already be on StubHub, Geek Seat, SeatGeek, TickPick, Vivid Seat. I'll be on the first. I'll be on the first website to buy my ticket if they have this match. But I highly doubt it will happen at Royal Rumble. They probably will blow it off at WrestleMania 34, 35 or something. Hopefully they put Finn Balor back in the Universal Championship picture because they do nothing. They're not doing anything with him right now. I mean, he's feuding with Elias Sampson, but how long do you think that feud's going to really last? How long do you think people are going to care about that feud? I'll tell you what, I really don't care about that feud. I think Big Smoke would be better than that. Daniel Bryan, who ran away like a cat for 3 months. Yeah. Think you're scared, but they don't really want none. Also, guys, quick announcement. I will be live streaming for Great Balls of Fire, the entire pay-per-view on this channel. Of course, I will not be showing my television. Just a heads up. I hope none of you expect that, because I don't want a copyright claim. But I will be doing the first ever live subscriber chat with you guys. I will be doing a hangout where I will invite subscribers from the Tyler Williams channel onto the chat to watch Great Balls of Fire with me, essentially. You guys will get to watch Great Balls of Fire. We'll be discussing the pay-per-view as the pay-per-view is happening. As long as you guys don't say anything out of line, or be obnoxious, or try to get me in trouble, I will be very happy to put you guys on the Tyler Williams channel. Shout your channel or whatever. All you gotta do is be subscribed to this channel and be watching the live stream. AJ Styles won the U.S. title. Yeah, he did. That was very rare. The last time they had a title change on a house show, I believe, was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor at last year's NXT live event. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to make people want to go to live events now. If you start doing title changes, I'm not saying they got to do it like every other live event. They should keep it how they're doing it now and have like a title change once or twice a year on a live event. That'll get people to start going, because usually people have this thought in their mind that they're going to the live event to watch wrestling. They don't expect any title changes, because title changes only happen on television, if that. The title changes only happen on pay-per-views. So that being said, if you get people in the mix of, oh, there's a possibility there could be a title change on this live event, then people are going to start wanting to buy tickets to live event, because there is a possibility that the title will change hands. And they will be the only person to see it, because it's not on television. If they do that, they're in the clear. They're good. They're gooch. Remember when Christian beat Booker T for the IC title on the house show? I don't remember when that was, but I do remember it happening. And yeah, I was surprised too. We got Finn Balor versus AJ Styles here. It's 2:50. I gotta be ready to go in a little bit. We gotta go watch the movie Baby Driver. Have anyone seen the movie Baby Driver? I'm going to see that movie today. And seems like a good movie. It has, I believe, it has about, ooh, nice DDT. It has, I think it has like a very high percentage rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a good thing. Because Get Out had a very high percentage of Rotten Tomatoes, and that was a really great movie. Oh, and The Miz won the Tag Team Championship. I don't remember that happening, but I'm sure it did happen. Oh, phenomenal form to AJ Styles. AJ Styles hit AJ Styles in phenomenal form. What a phenomenal thing that would be. But no, he did it on Finn Balor. For the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Finn kicks out. Holy shit. Holy shit. I want to know who's Finn's facing at SummerSlam, because you guys already know Finn Balor's probably going to be the Demon at SummerSlam. So, who is he facing at SummerSlam, honestly? I don't know. I'm hoping that he's going to face The Miz. or whoever the IC champion is, they could put a title on him because I don't think they're gonna have him feuding for the Universal Championship anytime soon. So they put the IC Championship on him, maybe paint the title black or something to go with his attire. I think it will work for Finn. Oh, Codebreaker! He thinks he's Chris Jericho now. Nice. Anything else to talk about? Anything else there to talk about aside from the rant I went on earlier? I don't know. Oh yeah, predictions for Great Balls of Fire. So let's do predictions for Great Balls of Fire before this match ends. So let's go through the list. Once I'm finished, once this match is over, then I'll end the stream. Neville versus Akira Tozawa for the Cruiserweight Championship. Neville's gonna win. I don't know who he's gonna drop the title to. I don't know who they could even have Neville drop the title to. He's beat Austin Aries 3 times in a row. He's beaten Jack Gallagher. He's beaten Rich Swann. He's beaten Brian Kendrick. Who can they have him drop it to? I don't know. Noam Dar, who's been feuded, who's been in a relationship with Alicia Fox for like God knows how long. They probably would have him drop it to Noam Dar or somebody. They're all just gonna double hold on to the title for like a year until they finally find out who to drop it to, because no one else is really worthy at this point right now. Cesaro versus Sheamus. Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardys for the Raw Tag Team Championships in a 30-minute Iron Man match. I don't want to see this match, but I'm gonna go with Cesaro and Sheamus because if they beat the Hardys, then that means they won't have a rematch clause. Because if the Hardys win, then Sheamus and Cesaro get a rematch clause. This means we have to watch this match again. And I don't want to see this match again. I'm done with this match. I'm done with this feud. Miz versus Dean. Same with this match. Same with Miz versus Dean Ambrose. I want Miz to retain because I'm done with this feud. I don't want to see Dean versus Miz for the rest of the year. And even if they go back to it next year, I probably still won't want to see it. But the rest of the year, I do not want to see Miz versus Dean Ambrose again. So hopefully this feud ends with Miz retaining the title. Enzo versus Cass. I think it's going to be Big Cass, so that way they can do the rematch at SummerSlam and have Enzo win. Or maybe they'll have Cass wins both times. I could see them having Cass win both times. But I'm going to go with Big Cass here. Big Casshole. Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. I honestly do not care about this match. But I won't skip it just for the sake of you guys wanting to know who I think is going to win. I'm going to randomly guess that it's going to be Seth Rollins. Why? Because Bray Wyatt loses all the goddamn time. And I have no faith in Bray Wyatt at this point, at any time. Bray Wyatt has been such a loser in the past year that I honestly... I mean, he hasn't... Here's the thing. Bray Wyatt won the WWE Championship. And he was in the Final 3 of the Royal Rumble. But other than that, when Bray Wyatt... Aside from Bray Wyatt winning big-time matches... Bray Wyatt loses all the goddamn time. He lost more than he has won. And for a character like Bray Wyatt, you shouldn't have him losing all the time. But that's the case. He loses all the time. So for that reason, I don't even really care when he's in the ring anymore. Unless he's facing someone he's never faced off against before. Which this is a new match. But the feud is not interesting. And if the feud's not interesting, and you have a wrestler I'm not interested in, then I don't want to see this match at all. So I'm just going to randomly guess it's going to be Seth Rollins because Bray Wyatt loses all the goddamn time. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks for the Royal Women's Championship. I am going to guess it ends in no contest. I'm going to say no contest. So that way they can have this match at SummerSlam. Have a decisive winner with Sasha Banks probably winning. Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in the ambulance match. I believe if Roman Reigns is going to challenge whoever wins Brock versus Joe at SummerSlam. But I think they should have Braun win this match. And then Braun takes his stipulation. And then Braun faces Brock at SummerSlam. Or Joe at SummerSlam. Because honestly, I don't really care to see Roman in the Universal title picture. But I know it's happening. I know it's coming. You know what? Take my mind. I don't want to have Roman Reigns win this match. Because I don't want to see Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania again. Roman Reigns is main event of WrestleMania. I cannot speak. That's how ranty and angry I am. Roman Reigns has been the main event of WrestleMania for the past 4 WrestleManias. This is a damn good match between AJ Styles and Finn Balor. He's been in the main event of 31, which he faced Brock Lesnar. He's been in the main event of WrestleMania 32, which he's faced off against Triple H. And he's been in the main event of 33, which he faced The Undertaker. And now the rumor is for him to face off against Brock Lesnar in the main event of WrestleMania 34. 4 years later. Is it 4 years later? No, not 3 years later. 3 years later, they want the same main event of WrestleMania. Why? I don't know. I don't want to see it. So in order for us to not have that match at WrestleMania, we need to get it sooner. And the way to get it sooner is to have Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman and have Brock beat Joe. And that's kind of what I want, sadly. No, that's not what I want. I want Joe to... let me get to that in a second. But I think Roman Reigns will win this match. Just so he can face the champion at SummerSlam. And most likely win. And the main event, presumably, Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. The feud, great build to it. I love it. I hope it's not a squash match like I'm predicting it will be. I want Joe to win, but I know in my heart Brock Lesnar is going to win this match. If Joe wins this match, I will be shocked. I will be legitimately shocked if Joe wins this match. I want him to win. I think he should win because they need to elevate Joe. At the point that they feuding, Joe losing this match any other way than going down to like multiple F5s and multiple German suplexes will make Joe look like a bitch. Joe either has to win this match, and if he doesn't win the match, it can't be a squash match. If they squashed Samoa Joe, they diminished this whole entire feud in one match. They can't squash Samoa Joe at this point. He's shown that he's a dominant force to be reckoned with, and he's strong. And he should go in and he should literally make Brock Lesnar look like he's in a fight of his life. And if that means that Samoa Joe won't win this match, then Samoa Joe doesn't win this match. But I really, sincerely hope that he does not get squashed. I'm rooting for Joe, but I know Brock Lesnar is going to win this match. And if the way I say is true, then we'll have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, where most likely Roman Reigns will win. But I'd rather Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam than Brock Lesnar lose to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 34. I'm going to be at both shows, but nonetheless, I'd rather one than the other. And that's it. I'm going to end this live stream right here. This is more of a rant than it was actually WWE2K17 live stream. I'm going to rename this something else. Maybe make a series out of it every weekend. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I love you guys, and I will see you all later tonight at the live stream for Great Balls of Fire. Talk to you all later, guys. Peace out.